right?
Okay.
But I do have something very wiggly.
Right.
And something that's not easy to plug into because it would be soggy behind the saddle.
Right, okay.
And if I can get a load of the sogginess out of it, I can plug into it and
His tail's coming right up there.
well, that's a good sign. So towards the end of yesterday, the tail started to be carried.
Yeah. Now it's gone down again.
Come. Yeah, I think you just lost the plot there looking at salmon.
So what are you thinking of doing?
Mostly it's just a plug-in deal.
Right.
And there's a fair amount of bear down.
Right.
So I'm thinking of bear down and pushing the creases out of his neck, and I'm thinking of plug in. Maybe I shouldn't have taken the stirrups off. I'm not sure that I should have done. They look short.
No, they look okay actually.
Yeah, so he's soggiest behind the saddle very easily. Let me change direction here.
And you don't feel a big space in front of one of the other shoulders?
No. But there's a huge amount of dive left, dive right, dive here, dive there, which I am attempting to deal with. So I think at this point in time, he would have, oh boy, he would have soggied himself right and left, and that his first response to me trying to line him up and organize him is kind of start soggying, and I think that sogginess might have floored you somewhat. And here with the right as the outside, it's a little harder to make sure he's not soggy on the right.
Right.
So Tara, I will get with you, right? But I have promised Tasha I would get on this.
And in terms of the shape of his back, what do you feel?
It's up in a good way.
Right.
And when I'm plugged in right, which I'm not right now, but I am right now, then it's pretty even on both sides. And when I plug in right, it fills in much more behind the saddle.
Right.
So it could be very soggy behind me. I've now got the back of my diaphragm more organised. So hopefully I'm a bit less vulnerable to it. So Linda, what would your comments be?
I was just going to say to you, has his back just come up a little bit more right now?
Right now I'm losing it.
No, his tail's
Yes.
very down, yeah.
So that was a big lose it.
He's gone long in the...
Which you asked, the answer was probably yes. Now the answer is yes.
Yes.
Yeah?
It just
so that feels
yeah.
like there's a reach now from behind
Yeah.
the saddle, and I filled in what would be soggy behind the
And
saddle.
now it looks like he's pushing up into it, like there,
Right?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just brought his stomach muscles up to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that you deal with the sogginess behind the saddle. I think you fall into it. If
Right,
what you
okay.
were doing, I think you would sort of fall into the soggy behind the saddle.
Right. I must have been focusing on width and been quite pleased with having width sort of behind the wither in front of the thigh.
Yeah.
That's what I'd been focusing on. I hadn't even put my mind to what was behind the saddle.
So, what's behind the saddle now is getting firm and organised, but losing it, getting it. And along with that is the narrowness of both boards on.
Right.
Lost it on the right.
Yeah.
Tail's coming up.
Right there. Yeah. And you've got a really big stretch just happening.
So I find it hard to keep my right board on.
Yeah, it would be the soggier, trickier one of the two, I'd
Right.
say.
And it would tend to crinkle in the middle on me rather than be slapped on properly.
And I lose it quite a bit with him heading towards the car park, right? So this side of the circle, he starts gawping at everybody and I start losing it.
And do you ever have to think of like sort of wedge on the right to think more fullness around the right or not? Or is that not really a problem?
The way I'm plugging in is organising. Oh, of course. Hello. Was organising his right side, but now we have no. Oh, come on. So what I had at walk, I lost a whole load during the transition, and now what I reckon I have behind the saddle is just a load of sogginess.
Can you fill more into your lower back?
Is that good?
Yes, that looks better. And then are you able